Good evening and thanks for joining us on Nationwide. I'm Elizabeth Omori. We begin with regional matters. Nigeria has rejected the allegations made by Niger Republic's military leader, General Abdurrahmane Chiani, claiming that Nigeria is colluding with France to destabilize his country. A statement by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, describes such allegations as baseless and existing solely in the realm of imagination. The minister clarifies that the Nigerian government has never engaged in any alliance with France or any other country to sponsor terrorist attacks or destabilize the Niger Republic. It says President ECOWAS chairman has demonstrated leadership in keeping the doors of the sub-regional body open to re-engaging Niger Republic despite the political situation in the country. The statement reaffirms Nigeria's position in fostering peace and sustaining the historic diplomatic ties with Niger and refutes Nigeria's involvement in arming or supporting terror groups to attack Niger Republic or sabotage Niger's pipelines and agriculture, as claimed. The minister emphasizes that Nigeria has consistently supported Niger's economic development through joint energy and infrastructure projects. He explains that Nigerian military has been actively fighting terrorism in the region and recently launched Operation Forest Sanity 3 to address the Lakura threat. Federal government urges the public to disregard the false allegations and calls on General Chiani to provide credible evidence to claims. To internal security, Minister of State for Defense Bello Mohammed has reassured that the federal government would deploy more troops and equipment to combat activities of bandits and terrorist groups in the northwest region and other parts of the country. The minister dropped the hint while commiserating with Governor Ahmed Aliyu over the recent airstrike that led to the killings of no fewer than 10 persons at Gidambasa and Runtuwa villages in Sokoto State. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Mohammed, visited Sokoto State to commiserate with the people and government over the recent incident. This visit, at the instance of President Bola Tinubu, underscores federal government's commitment to providing comfort and support to affected families and communities. Governor Ahmed Aliyu of Sokoto State expressed his gratitude to President Tinubu for his concern, acknowledging federal government's proactive approach to addressing the concerns and challenges faced by its citizens.
We consider it as something from Almighty Allah, and we take it with this.
The federal government's delegation's visit serves as a testament to government's resolve to stand with its citizens in times of need, providing assurance of support to those affected by the incident. Nigeria is committed to the protection of its territorial integrity and respect for the sovereignty of neighboring countries. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, gave the indication during a luncheon with the troops of Operation Fansan Yama at the 8th Division, Nigerian Army, Sokoto.
The operational tour launched with the frontline troops by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is to boost their morale, assess the security situation and challenges they are facing in the theater of operation. The Chief of Defense Staff urged them to exhibit a high sense of professionalism and patriotism in their conduct. General Musa called on communities to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to security operatives, emphasizing that community cooperation is critical in ensuring national security. He advised communities to vacate areas where military operations are ongoing for their safety to enable security forces secure the areas. The defense chief took time to visit wounded soldiers and assured them of taking their full responsibilities.
We must all not allow anybody use our soil, and we will not allow any of our soil be used against any of our neighboring countries.
The general also visited his alma mater, where he inaugurated 36 classrooms and administrative block and as part of his community service initiative and contributions to the development of education in Sokoto State. It was a nostalgic moment at the Guinea Memorial Stadium, Sokoto, as the general reconnected with his childhood friends with whom he played basketball from Sokoto. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has again charged officers and men of the military to consolidate gains made in the fight against insurgents by intensifying clearance of remnants of the terrorists in the Northeast Theatre of Operations. General Oluyede gave the charge during a Christmas luncheon with frontline troops at the 27th Task Force Brigade in Boningari, Yobe State. Adam Yusuf Ali reports.
The Chief of Army Staff's Christmas Luncheon is an annual event meant to celebrate Christmas with frontline troops to motivate them and show genuine concern to their sacrifice in the ongoing war against insurgency in the nation. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, represented by Commander Sector 2 Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadenkai, Major General Marcel Ejike, pointed out that to consolidate the transformation of a well-motivated combat-ready force that can discharge its duty diligently within a joint and multi-agency environment requires quality leadership, as exhibited by the Army Chief. He sympathized and commended those who paid the supreme price while motivating men presently standing guard at the fire trenches to ensure a peaceful Nigeria.
This kind of laudable gesture, which has been taken from the sterling leadership quality of the Chief of Army Staff, also aimed at motivating the troops as well, enhancing comradeship among personnel.
The Yobe State Governor, Moyemola Buni, represented by Commissioner for Wealth Creation, Employment and Empowerment Generation, Ajeri Mabularafa, assured the state government's support in providing logistics, guidance, and information to close gaps in the ongoing operation in the state.
Let me use this opportunity to profoundly register the appreciation of the government and the good people of Yobe State for the immeasurable contributions of the Nigerian Army and other security agencies in restoring peace and security across the state.
The peace and stability being enjoyed in Yobe State is as a result of the gallantry exhibited by the troops, even at the festive seasons. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf Ali, NTA News.
To water transportation safety, people in riverine communities in Kogi State are appealing to relevant authorities in water transportation in Nigeria to produce and distribute more safety jackets to safeguard the lives of Nigerians on waterways. This is coming from a cross-section of travelers in Lokoja. Solomon Aiden completes the story.
In the past, many people consider water transportation as one of the safest means of transportation, but with the happenings in recent time, both mishaps resulting to loss of lives and properties in different parts of the country have raised the concern of relevant authorities to issue warning to boat operators to comply with safety rules, especially during the Yuletide, to avoid any mishap on the Nigerian waterways. Curious to know how these regulations are being followed, NTA News visited Pata Market in Lokoja, Kogi State, where people came from different parts of the state by river to speak their minds on water transportation situation in the area.
Just for myself, we used to enter, but we don't used to wear the safety clothes.
I want to load now to cross. If I want to cross now, then I use my lab jacket.
At the time of filing in this report, the National Inland Waterways Authority were not available to speak on the matter. However, the Pata Branch Union Chairman of boat operators in Lokoja, Abdullahi Mohammed, speaks on measures so far put in place by the union to ensure the enforcement of rules and regulations on waterway transportation.
We gather our members, we lecture them. All the language is about safety. The boat owner, I always advise them to not take overloading. No water, don't know how to swim. This is the first time for some people to follow boats. When they enter, we arrange them well proper before we move.
In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on NTA. Let's join Adiola in Lagos for more reports.
Elizabeth, compliments of the season to you. Lagos, the commercial nerve center of the country since Christmas break, has been in low key, creating a business unusual atmosphere in the state. Juak Bokbola reports that with most private organizations on holiday till January 2025, vehicular movement is not at its peak.
For visitors and residents of Lagos State, one of the things they have to get accustomed to is the excruciating pain of gridlock, while the situation reared its ugly head during preparation for the U-turn. The gridlock has now disappeared, with Lagosians enjoying the holiday in their various homes. Most streets in Victoria Island and CMS that are usually having gridlock, causing motorists to waste useful man-hours, are completely devoid of the usual hustle and bustle. The popular Broad Street in Lagos, a business hub, is no longer a beehive, with commercial bus operators struggling to get passengers.
People are just taking their time to see how they can make the best of the time they have. I mean, a place like this on a normal day, we hustling and busting at this time, but obviously people have traveled.
Even just to manage ourselves, the manage everywhere is us somehow.
Idumota and Obalende are also experiencing a lull in business activities.
Everywhere is free, no traffic, not too much people on the way. So at least it's a free movement for everybody, all of which is a nice one. It shouldn't continue, but at the end of the day, we are hoping to come back to normal duties starting from January for normal activities to resume.
For those who don't like spending hours in traffic, this is the best time to move around town. But for business owners, they are eager to get back to business. In Lagos, Joel Bokbola, NTA News.
As the world continues to grapple with public health challenges, the International Day of Epidemic Preparedness has been global awareness and readiness against epidemic threats. Awal Yusuf Jibo in this report explores the significance of these United Nations proclaimed observance marked yearly on December 27 and its impact on health security.
Epidemics and pandemics are on the list of threats to global health, well-being, security, and economy of nations worldwide. Ebola outbreak and the COVID-19 pandemic have claimed lives, crippled economies, and overwhelmed nations. Creating awareness and strengthening epidemic preparedness is imperative, particularly as COVID-19 exposed vulnerabilities in health systems in both rich and poor nations.
Many health systems, particularly in low and middle income countries like Nigeria, lack the capacity to manage routine healthcare needs, let alone epidemics. Hospitals are often understaffed, under-equipped, and inaccessible, particularly to the rural population.
Following the harrowing experiences and impact of epidemics and pandemics, a day was set aside in year 2020 by the United Nations to emphasize the need for nations to work together to strengthen healthcare infrastructure, develop early warning systems, and invest in scientific research.
You would want to make a report and write a report of everything that has transpired in the whole outbreak investigation. After you have done that, you submit your report, which would be used to make policies and prevent the kind of outbreak from occurring again, especially in that particular society.
As the world reflects on the lessons learned from past outbreaks, the International Day of Epidemic Preparedness serves as a timely reminder of the collective responsibility needed to combat future epidemics. Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
And those are reports from Lagos. Nationwide will continue after this break.
And welcome to Benin. Police Command has arrested and paraded one Efe Onoteyi for allegedly killing his best friend, Paulinus Okon, in Ughelli, Delta State, after defrauding his victim of 30 million naira. The Delta State Commissioner of Police, Abaniwanda Olufemi, paraded the suspect alongside 4 accomplices. Ngozi Imokwede reports.
A chilling discovery: the alleged assumed head of Paulinus Oku hidden inside this bucket. The man accused of orchestrating this gruesome act is his closest friend, Efe, who has confessed to hiring killers to eliminate him after defrauding him of 30 million naira under the guise of buying a house.
Kemote told me that they are going to use rope to struggle him to death. So he now came to me in the night, midnight, and told me that they are done with the job. That I don't know how to explain for because it was greed.
But that wasn't enough. After the erroneous crime, Efe reportedly dumped the body in a river and buried the head in a native doctor's shrine. He then span a tale of Okon's adoption, extorting another 20.5 million naira from the victim's family as ransom.
If he give us 40,000, he give us again 280. It's to me to kill the man.
If he contacted me to kill the boy, he gave me 450, but I did not follow them. So
what are we doing as parents to ensure that our boy child becomes a responsible member of society? Those who committed this crime, just like we keep saying, are members of his cult group.
The Commissioner of Police, Olufemi Abaniwanda, has urged residents to remain vigilant during the season, stressing the need for heightened security consciousness. In Asaba, Ngozi Mokwede, NTA News.
And away from security, the Yuletide festivity in Benin Metropolis is being tainted by a challenge that has become all too familiar: the struggle for cash. Joy Egbo reports on how residents are navigating the cash crunch as they make preparations to celebrate the new year.
The persistent cash crunch across Nigeria has become a major concern for citizens, affecting daily transactions and business operations since the redesign of the Naira, a measure intended to enhance the push for a cashless economy. Access to physical cash has been increasingly constricted. Despite efforts by the Central Bank of Nigeria to address these concerns, the situation remains dire in many parts of the country. It is a familiar sight at ATM stands across Edo State: long queues, anxious faces, and a relentless search for cash. At several ATM points visited, many expressed their frustration over the situation.
I want to collect money, but I don't feel collect money. First, when I get money now, I want to collect 100,000. They said that 40,000 I go fit give.
So withdraw inside 50. They said they are not giving. It's 10 they used to give. So I decided to come to the queue.
Well, this was the festive period because people are withdrawing money for travel, to buy things. If you notice, you see that banks are paying me like 1,000. But when you go to the bank to withdraw, they will keep on paying old money, which shows that people are withdrawing to keep in the house.
The situation remains the same across different banks and POS points, leaving residents to weigh their options between limited bank withdrawals and the expensive charges at POS outlets. As residents continue their Christmas celebration, the ongoing cash crunch highlights the need for more effective financial management and seamless access to funds, especially during peak festive periods. In Benin, Joy Egbo, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja. Thank you, Obey, and compliments of the season. President Bola Tinubu condoles with the government and people of India on the passing of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. President Tinubu's tribute to Dr. Singh is to strengthen the Nigeria-India relations, noting that his diplomatic efforts remain a reference point in the history of bilateral relations between the two nations. President Tinubu further lauds the late Prime Minister's efforts to improve cooperation in defense, trade, culture, education, health, science, technology as well as ICT, expressing gratitude to the people of India for celebrating the life and achievements of this selfless leader and distinguished economist. The Nigerian leader salutes Singh's role in steering India's economic reforms during globally challenging times. He praised that the departed Prime Minister's dedication to service will inspire the people of India. In other news, the year 2024 is eventful for the power sector in Nigeria, with gains and challenges as the country strives to achieve adequate electricity supply. In this report, Joshua Ujida takes us through major events that shaped the sector in the year under review.
It's a mixed grill for the power sector in 2024 as the year looks brighter from the onset but beclouded with challenges as months roll by.
The Commission has approved a rate of 225 naira per kilowatt hour for just under 15% of the customer population in NERSI.
From removal of subsidy on tariff for Band A customers to creation of electricity market by subnationals, the year raised prospects for the sector.
The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is determined to change the narratives in the power sector.
The Siemens project also got a boost with mobile substations and transformers delivered and installed across the country to increase transmission wheeling capacity as phase 2 of the project got approval of the Federal Executive Council.
The entire project scope is over 2,683 kilometers. Mr. President also has a very, very soft spot for the eastern part of Nigeria, and he believes that the industries there arrived.
A test run on SCADA system was successfully carried out within the year, with the project nearing completion to mitigate frequent grid collapse. Also, for the first time since 2021, the peak generation surpassed 5,000 megawatts in 2024, which prompted federal government to push industry players to hit 6,000 megawatts before the end of the year. However, the 6,000 megawatts target was not achieved due to challenges of vandalism of transmission infrastructure, grid collapses with 12 incidents recorded in 2024, and inadequate gas supply to generation companies.
The debt to the gas company by the GENCOs, this needs to be interrogated.
Another major incident in 2024 was the vandalism of Shiroro Mando and Apir Makudi transmission lines that cut off supply from the national grid to northern part of the country for 10 days. On the renewable energy subsector, more communities were connected with solar home systems. Additional interventions launched by the Rural Electrification Agency to upscale access to electricity in rural communities.
Transition electricity market entails that we will do more of off-grid. The federal government should de-escalate investment that everybody is investing and trying to take money from the market operators, embed and what have you. Off-grid is the way to go because it will endure competition.
Though it's a turbulent year for the power sector, industry players seem not deterred to deliver available electricity to end users in the new year. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Thank you, Joshua. President Bola Tinubu extends heartfelt congratulations to the Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Tanko Yusuf Sununu, as he is going to be conferred with the traditional title Damadin Yauri by the Emir of Yauri in Kebbi. President Tinubu applauds the Emir of Yauri for recognizing Dr. Sununu's qualities and contributions as a vital member of the Renewed Hope administration's cabinet and his significant efforts to enhance the humanitarian sector in Nigeria. The president is confident that this recognition from his community will further inspire the minister to continue his dedicated service for the advancement of the nation. He wishes him, his family, the Yauri Emirate, friends and all well-wishers a joyous and seamless celebration. Talking road safety, as the year 2024 gradually winds down with the mass movement of Nigerians traveling to be with their loved ones for the Yuletide, the Federal Road Safety Corps, Ogun State Command, is intensifying measures to ensure accident-free journeys for travelers. Yemi Dalimo has details of the statistics of road crashes so far and the 30-day end of the year operations of FRSC in Ogun State.
Of the 671 road crashes recorded in Ogun State between January and November 2024, 224 passengers died, while others sustained various degrees of injuries, while attributing some of the accidents to the inability of passengers to speak up against errant drivers. The Federal Road Safety Corps urges the motoring public to always speak up against dangerous driving and other acts of drivers posing a threat to safety on the road.
We should all speak up against road traffic crashes, dangerous driving. We should not be passive. We should not be on the side of drivers that are conveying us to early grave.
To ensure reduction in the number of road crashes during the Yuletide, FRSC Ogun Sector Commander Akinwumi Fashakin notes that the number of personnel of the command manning the critical doubled with mandate of ensuring safe and smooth driving.
We envisage increase in number of vehicular activities, especially outward Lagos. Where we are recording high volume of traffic now is along Shagam, Ijebu axis, because of people going to the east. I can assure you that our men are on ground and we are on top of the situation. And we've not had issue of traffic gridlock because we've deployed enough tow truck.
The sector commander notes that palliative work along the failed portions of Shagamu-Ijebu-Ore Expressway has greatly complemented the efforts of the Corps in managing the huge number of vehicular movements being witnessed during this Yuletide. In Abuja, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Join Yemi for a live conversation on FRSC's road safety measures. Yemi, thank you so much for joining us on Nationwide.
Thank you so much, and let me say compliment of the season to you over there.
Thank you so much.
In Ogun State, there are a lot of measures that the Federal Road Safety Corps have put in place to ensure that our people traveling from either Lagos to their various destinations, such as the east, the south, or even the north, arrive at their destination safely. And some of these measures include the deployment of its personnel, tow trucks and even ambulances along the major corridors such as the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Shagamu-Ijebu-Ore Expressway, the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, and even the Epe-Ijebu-Ode Expressway. These are the corridors that are recording high volume of along this corridor during this period. And the road safety, the federal controller of the FRSC in Ogun State has told us that he has increased the number of his personnel along this route so that they can monitor the movement and ensure that things go on well along the road. For instance, in the around Opik in Lagos, very close to Lagos, in 2 or 3 years ago, you will hear of incidents of traffic gridlock, that people will be there waiting a lot of man hours. But now the road has been repaired by the federal government, and road safety has even stationed its personnel along that axis to ensure that there is no breakdown of any vehicle, and if that occur, they quickly evacuate such so that people can actually go to their various destinations in peace. But there's a message that he's trying to pass across, like what he told me just about 10-15 minutes ago. He said between December 20 and 26, issue of overloading, overspeeding, and route violation resulted in about 20 RTCs that led to the death of about 12 people within just 6 days. He said if people, the passengers in the vehicle, they are speaking up, cautioning their drivers, this might not have occurred. This is the message that he wants people to actually be speaking up, cautioning their drivers. Don't say because the road is smooth and you need to go and see your people on time, so they want to share the excitement, you want to share the joy with them. The drivers will be on high speed because the road is good. You need to tell them to actually watch their speed and drive according to the speculated speed limit. And this is what he said. If people are doing that, then they can arrive at their destinations on time. He identified overspeeding as one of the major causes of accidents along this express now. It is not a crime that the expressway is good, but human beings also need to play the game according to the rules. You won't say because the road is free, you have to increase your speed so that you can get to where you are going on time and even return. This is said that we should tell Nigerians to please, so as to go to their destination in peace and return back in peace. Talk to your drivers. This is the message he is saying. And along the Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode Expressway, formerly about 1 or 2 months ago, the road is not that good, but now the Federal Ministry of Works has carried out some palliatives along that road, and the road is smooth now, even though there are still some few traffic along that area, but the men of the road safety are there to ensure that everything is going on smoothly. They are there from the morning even till late in the night, and controlling traffic and making sure that there is free flow of traffic along that. But he wants us to stress it that people should need to talk to their drivers to drive safely. And I think I actually agree with him that we should talk to our drivers so that we can arrive at our destinations safely.
Impressive. But really, are motorists complying? Are they obeying all the rules?
Yes. When they see the road safety officials on the way, they have to, reduce their speed and play the rules by the game. But after they have left them, people, they will have to go back to what they are doing. But there are a lot of people, a lot of FRS officials along that route that is actually cautioning them against this speed limit.
For your time, thank you for your compact update. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving on, a meeting between the chairman of the Presidential Livestock Reform Implementation Committee, Professor Tayo Jega, and Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has held to identify livestock production challenges in the country. Governor Bala Mohammed at the meeting says his administration has gone far into the process of establishing Ministry of Livestock Development to complement federal government's efforts to improve livestock production. Waza Hassan reports.
Between the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed and members of the Presidential Committee on Livestock Reform dwell on issues for the better performance of the subsector.
The key aspects of the recommendations that we have made, which government has taken on board, which the new Ministry of Livestock Development will be implementing, but also importantly, to generate additional ideas from you, as stakeholders, people in the field.
Governor Bala Mohammed has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his foresight on the move to address farmers' hardest clashes and to ensure sustainable food security in the country.
We are willing to work with the federal government to learn best practice, especially for an area of human capital that is embedded in this committee. And that's why we said when we met with you at the Casco, now whatever you did, we'll try to replicate it at the minimal level.
The governor, while congratulating the Presidential Committee members, charged them on the need to justify the presidential confidence in them. In Bauchi, Moaz Hassan, NTA News.
Let's talk agriculture. In the outgoing year 2024, Nigeria's rose by 1.48%. The agri-sector continued to play a leading role in GDP growth during the period. However, challenges such as inflation, environmental factors, pests and diseases persisted throughout the year. Let's now join Musa Babalu for details on the performance of the agri-sector in 2024.
The cold and windy weather from December 2023 to February 2024 created favorable conditions for a successful wheat yield. This positively impacted the federal government's dry season farming, which ended in January 2024. A report on the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Grow Pocket project indicated that farmers cultivated 232,000 hectares during the 2023-2024 dry season farming. Wheat farming under the presidential initiative has 309 billion naira into the economy and created 60,000 jobs.
We'll start by good quality seeds and good extension services, good fertilization.
In response to increasing food inflation and concerns over national food security between February and March 2024, President Tinubu took decisive action by directing the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to distribute essential food supplies to vulnerable Nigerians. This initiative involved the release of 42,000 metric tons of food and 60,000 tons of rice sourced from various silos nationwide.
Mr. President's strategy is what can we do to bring down the price of food, but most importantly, to reverse the ugly trend of food insecurity in Nigeria.
The Central Bank of Nigeria also, in March 2024, it allocated 100 billion naira worth of fertilizer to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security.
Is aimed at amplifying food production capabilities and fostering price stabilization within the agricultural sector.
The year under review has been particularly challenging for Nigerian farmers as heavy flooding has devastated numerous crop fields, especially in the northeast, northwest and southeast regions. These environmental challenges have exacerbated existing vulnerabilities within the agricultural sector, necessitating targeted interventions to support farmers and stabilize food supply chains across the country. In July 2024, President Bola Tinubu took significant steps to address the ongoing conflict between herders and farmers by establishing the Ministry of Livestock Development. ED was appointed as the minister of the newly created ministry.
Livestock is not just a sector. It is a way of life for millions of Nigerians and a vital component of our food security, rural development and cultural heritage. Our mission, therefore, is not just to grow this sector, but to transform it into a sustainable, resilient and inclusive ecosystem for the private sector actors to thrive.
Additionally, Nigeria made notable advancement in seed production in 2024. The release of new varieties of maize and rice is a crucial development for enhancing agricultural productivity. The newly introduced seeds include Tila maize and 4 varieties of rice, Faro 69, Faro 70, Nakrisa 3 and Nakrisa 4. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Thank you, Musa. Now to education. Secretary has scaled up its school enrollment drive to tackle the menace of out-of-school children. Asmau Habibu Shagari reports that the initiative is in line with Governor Ahmed Aliyu's agenda in the education sector.
These are the children being registered by Governor Ahmed Aliyu and the Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar in the school enrollment drive campaign for 2024-2025 academic session in Dengue Town. This annual campaign seeks to enlighten stakeholders on the importance of enrolling school-age children, promoting a more inclusive and supportive learning environment, especially in educationally backward states. Governor Aliyu highlighted his administration's achievements in the education sector, stating that the ceremony demonstrates his administration's commitment to ensuring that children in the state are enrolled regardless of location.
We have introduced monthly interest of 200,000 naira in schools for minor repairs and maintenance of basic facilities in the state.
To improve enrollment, Commissioner of Basic and Secondary Education Muhammad Tukur Al-Kali and Chairman State Universal Basic Education Board Umaru Nagwari Tambuwal indicate that plans are underway to establish state school-based management committee members, enhance supervision and engage women in advocacy. Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar commended the efforts of Governor Ahmed Aliyu in the education sector, urging parents to enroll their children. He added that the Sultanate Council will collaborate with the government and other stakeholders to explore the possibility of enrollment. From Sokoto, Asmau Habibu Shagari, NTA News.
In the spirit of this festive season, season, Governor Ademola Adeleke granted clemency to 53 inmates across various correctional facilities in Osun State. In a statement, the governor acted on the recommendations of the State Advisory Council on Prerogative of Mercy. 4 individuals on death row, including one Sunday Olowokere and Sunday Morakinyo, who were charged for capital offense of armed robbery in 2014, received full pardon. It will be recalled that a few weeks ago there was a public outcry on the case of Sunday Olowokere, whose parents alleged was sentenced for stealing chicken, and the governor promised to look into the case. Others granted clemency include 30 individuals convicted of minor offences whose remaining sentences have been completely forgiven, while 6 others on capital offences outright release due to their health conditions, and 1 inmate's death sentence was converted to a 15-year prison term. And for more reports, let's head to Enugu, where Chika is standing by. Nice to see you, Chika.
Good evening and welcome to Enugu Network Center. Governor Peter Mba has signed into law the Enugu State Appropriation Bill 2025 with a promise that every sector in the state will fuel his administration's development agenda. Chikawu reports that the implementation of the 2025 budget will commence in January.
The signing of the Enugu State Appropriation Bill 2025 into law was witnessed by the Attorney General of the state, Speaker Enugu State House of Assembly, and other legislators. Appreciative of the expeditious passage of the bill by the legislators, Governor Mba assured of proper implementation of the 2025 budget tagged Budget of Exponential Growth and Inclusive Prosperity. He explained that his administration is intentional about economic growth, as enshrined in the 2025 budget, which seeks to make Enugu State an economic hub, create jobs, grow the state's economy, and reduce poverty headcounts. He assured that the budget will be implemented to the latter transparently.
What we are witnessing here today is a demonstration of the fact that we have one common objective, the people.
His Excellency has given life to the budget by giving his assets. That shows the ground running from January 1st, 2025. If you look around Enugu, you can see the development that is happening everywhere. In all sectors.
The Enugu State government is optimistic that the 2025 appropriation law will restore the prominence of the state and place it in the pedestal of economic transformation. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
As a way of fostering peace, unity and collaboration between the military and civilian communities, the 302 Artillery Regiment Nigerian Army has embarked on free medical outreach for residents of Ubiago Village, Amici in Nnewi South Local Government Area of Anambra State. Maureen Eze Okehe reports that more than 300 people benefited from exercise.
Medicine inside your body, it will increase the sensitivity of the receptors to the drug. So you see that exercise is very important.
The free medical outreach started with a health talk by the military medical personnel. The Commander 302 Artillery Regiment General Support Monitor Colonel Adamu Muhammad said the exercise was aimed at improving civil-military relationship and to ensure a healthy and peaceful society.
The aim of this medical outreach is actually to promote civil-military relations. So, in order and also to win the hearts and mind of the people.
Feeling so glad, so happy that you people come to our environment to see us through from our problems.
There are so many people suffering because they don't have money to get medical attention. But with this, you see many of them coming out to get medical attention free of charge.
Many people are here. Some people don't have money to buy drug, and they are collecting it here free.
The areas of health covered include eye care, pediatrics, laboratory services, and other common health issues. From Obiago Amici, Nnewi South Local Government, Maureen Ezokeke, NTA News.
That's our contribution from here, and thanks for being part of the outing.
You're still watching Nationwide. And we're not done with our health reports. Did you know that healthy eating is the key to unlocking healthy lifestyles? In the same vein, medical experts say it will also prevent non-communicable diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, problematic cholesterol, and obesity. Leader Samson will tell us more.
This acronym DREAMS, meaning diet, regular exercise, adequate minerals, moderation and sleep, Gaston Good Morning Nigeria say is crucial to healthy living. The guest wants Nigerians prioritizing physical, mental and social well-being through balanced diets.
Avoidance of toxic substances, so we should avoid smoking either actively or passively. Passively, this is festive season, you see a lot of people having to cook with firewood or so. So if you're going to use firewood, you should use the dry wood.
You're going to come around this thing, you're determined to, rearrange, the diet, kind of plan in the family, especially where there are children.
Our relationship is an integral part of our healthy living and our well-being. In fact, there's been increasing studies recently about the epidemic of loneliness across the world, and how you can be on Facebook and you have 5,000 friends. On Instagram you have so many likes, but in real life you don't have two people that if they don't see you for 3 days, they will come looking for you.
They decried upsurging non-communicable diseases due to ignorance and overindulgence, stressing that healthy living is doable with deliberate planning and efforts at doing away with processed foods and carbohydrates, keeping and nurturing relationships to have a cycle of dependable friends to mitigate depression. The girls want more awareness done on drug abuse to escalate prevention. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
The next is sports update with Olumide Eguntola. And that's Nationwide this evening. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good evening.